Uh, so we will see how to check and where to see this out of the box lightning components. Then we'll be developing custom lightning component. So we together will develop our own lightning components, and we'll be using these in our application, right? Yeah. Then we will learn to handle the browser events, uh, like on click, on hover, on key, all this. Then we will be creating custom events, which is actually used to communicate between two components. Yeah. So yeah, when we'll have multiple components, custom components, then we'll see how to create an event, which will actually help us to uh, make communication between those custom components. Then we'll see how to make our custom component interact with the server. Yeah. Then we will see the lightning data service. With this we can read, edit, delete the records from database without even writing the apex controller. So it is actually lightning data service is something like your standard controller in Visual Force page. Yeah, that we'll see later. Then we'll see the lightning quick action, how to create components which can be used as a lightning quick action. Then we'll be calling lightning standard application, creating lightning standalone application. With this we can open the application using the unique URL. Yes. And then we'll see lightning component for Visual Force page. So this is the agenda for next 25 days. So if you have not heard of all these terms, don't worry, I'll be conveying these things, everything from the basics. Okay. Yes. So first thing is the prerequisite for the lightning create a lightning component is to enable my domain in your org. Okay. And yeah, also for that you should have a developer org, right? So I'll request that everyone should create a developer org. I believe you must be having that org. So just you can go and enable your org, because domain in your org, because it's a mandatory thing. Without creating domain, you cannot create a custom lightning component. So I'll show the steps. So yes. So I'm into my developer org. I request all of you to please log into your org right now only, so that because I want to make this session more interactive, and this should be more practical. Yeah, we should not always be on. Yeah, we should always uh, do the exercise along with the theory. Yeah. So please open your developer org, go to setup, type domain here in setup. My domain. Yes. So here you will see an option to create new domain. Now, since I have already created a domain for my org, so I'll not be getting that. But yeah, if you have not created domain there, you will get a new option to create domain. So click on the new and give your domain name. So like uh, I've given domain name of my org as AI Tech One Training, right? Which you see here reflecting, right? Yes. So please do that. Give some domain name and save it. Yeah. So let me know if once you are done. Okay. So I believe everyone has created the domain. Could you please confirm in the chat? Okay. So if you have created your domain, uh, then you will get an option uh, here only to publish it. So please click on that so that your org will be ready with your new domain. Is it done? Shall I proceed? Charu, Duraz, Harita, Steven. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. S- Yes. So once your domain is created, and when you publish it, this your domain name will come up in your URL, right? So in real time scenarios, the clients or the companies who buy the Salesforce licenses, so they put their name. So they'll put their name here, and yeah, it will reflect in their URL, base URL. Okay. Okay. Now let moving to the next slide. So we are going to cover these topics today. What is Lightning Component Framework? Uh, yeah, Lightning Component across Salesforce ecosystem. When to use Lightning Component, where to check our org's Lightning component bundle, a Lightning component with HTML tag, what is Lightning App Builder, and how to use Chrome to test component in Salesforce Mobile. Right. So these are the topics which we'll cover today, and we'll have the lab exercise also for today, in which we will be reviewing the out of the box component. So we'll see where we can check or review the out of the box component from the Salesforce in our org. Then we will create a simple Lightning component, and then we'll see Lightning App Builder, how to use it, and then we'll see a desktop browser, how we can use desktop browser to test component in the Salesforce mobile. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the uh, Lightning component framework. Yes. So Salesforce Lightning component we all know that it's geared towards developing custom dynamic mobile and web pages, apps for Lightning Experience and Lightning Force platform using single page application architecture. Okay. So, so what is a single page architecture? Yeah. So single page architecture is that it in an app works inside the browser and does not require page reloading during the use. Okay, so you might have seen many applications like Gmail, Google Maps. Yeah. So it will when you open it, it won't refresh itself inside the browser, right? Sorry, it refreshes itself inside the browser without reloading the page, right? So that is something, the single page architecture. So we will have everything inside single page, and we need not to refresh the page multiple times to refresh all those components. Yeah. So one more example I'll give. So in VF page, when we click on the login, let's say you have created a login page in VF, right? Visual Force page. So there, when we click on the login button page, then we land on different pages like success page. But if login page, we land on the failure page, right? But in the Lightning component, we try to handle everything on the same page using show hide, right? So what happened in VA page? We have created 3 pages. One is login page. When the login successes, we are landing on another page which we have created, and if login fails, we are landed on the failure page. So in total, we have created 3 pages. But in Lightning, we need not to create these 3 pages. We can handle all these using show hide. Okay, in the same page only, and if else condition to give user better experience, right? Hmm. Yeah. So Lightning follows MVC design pattern, which is model view controller. Yeah, as we all know, model represent the database. View is the UI piece, and controller is the medicore between model and view. It handles the business process. So in the context of Lightning component, I'll say that view is your component where we write the yeah, or HTML codes, and then uh, model is the custom objects or the attributes, Lightning attributes which we define. I'll show you that. Yeah. For typing, you can consider your custom objects as the model because that stores the data in the Salesforce, right? And controller is controller is something where we write the business logic. Yeah. So we have 2 controller here in this case. One is the client side controller, which comes with the Lightning component bundle, and another is the server side controller, which is actually the Apex code. Yeah, Apex class. So here we write the business logic to get the. So with this business logic, we get the data from model, which is custom object or the database of Salesforce, and we display that on the view part, which is the component, right? Yes. So it is so our Lightning component framework based on the HTML5, JavaScript, and CSS3, and this follows MVC design patterns. And this is strongly coupled with Apex for server-side calls. So when I say it is strongly coupled with server, uh, I mean that so when we so we'll not have to write so much of code to interact with the server Apex because it is already coupled in Lightning component framework. So I will show you, and you will also see later that to interact with the server, we need not to write so much of code. Yeah. So this framework has provided that uh, by default that with less lines of code we can interact with the server. So data is always been transferred between server and component in the JSON format. Okay. So it also supports the responsive design, which means desktop, mobile, and tablet will use the same code base, but will display the components based on the screen size, right? Yeah. So the whatever code you will write will be responsive with the same code base. Yeah, we can use that in mobile. Uh, uh, Yeah, we can use that in mobile, tablets, and the desktop. We need not to write separate codes for that. Yeah. Okay. So next is yeah. So Lightning is built on the Aura framework. So Aura is open source framework developed by Salesforce.com only. So and yes, this it is built on the Aura framework. Okay. So now we'll see when to use the Lightning component and when not to use it. When it is optimal to use Lightning component. So Lightning is optimal to use whenever we get need to create a single page application. Okay, because it is specially designed for single page application. Yeah, so as we were discussing, yeah, sometimes back now, that Lightning is specially designed for single page application. It is uh, tightly coupled with that. So whenever we have to create a single page application, we should always go with the Lightning component. Yeah, so we can create a UI by simply drag and drop. So if we want our admin to have feature to create UI by drag and drop, we should go with the Lightning component. Yes. So I'll just show you after this slide, or yeah, maybe after one more slide, in the lab exercise, that whenever we want, so we can in Lightning we can create a UI for the record page, home page, application page with drag and drop only. Yes, we need components for that, but to arrange all components together in single page, we can do that using uh, drag and drop only. Yeah, so for to yeah, so if we want our admin to do create UIs using that, so we should go with the Lightning component. Yeah. Yes, and also if yeah, we should yeah, if some functionality is needs to be developed as per our business need, which is not given by Salesforce, then we should go for the Lightning component, right? Now we'll see when not to use it. We should always prefer to use out of the box Lightning component first instead of building it from the scratch. Okay, so whenever we get the business requirement in real time, also we always see whether this is being provided by Salesforce or not. Yeah, if it is not provided by Salesforce, then in that case only we go for the uh, custom component creation. Otherwise, we leverage this their standard out of box functionality. Okay. Yeah. Another is if your project is in classic, if your project is still in the classic mode, then you are developing Lightning component, then it will not consistent with the classic mode. Yeah. So we should develop Lightning components only uh, when we are when our project is already in the Lightning experience, because Lightning components are not so consistent with the yeah with the classic. uh, Although we can use it, there is a way we can use Lightning component with the classic as well, but still it is not so consistent, so you will see some performance issues there. So it is always recommended, if your project is in Lightning experience, then only create Lightning components and use that. Okay. Yeah. So let's say if the third point I'm explaining. So let's say if we are converting a Visual Force page into Lightning component, and we don't even know what will be return of investment and level of effort it will take to convert the page to Lightning. Yeah. So So when we move our project from classic to lightning, so we'll have to move many visual force. We might have to convert many visual force space to lightning, right? To make it, to give it a better better UI, or you can say user experience. But we should always check on the return of investment, level of effort, means how much we are going to put on it to convert it. Yeah. So if it is very big and you feel that it might take a lot of effort, then we can use that visual force page directly into the lightning, in the lightning, using lightning app builder. I'll show you that we can use via page as well in the lightning. Yeah, but we should check before converting. Okay, so this is as part of optimal use case of lightning command framework. Yes. So now we'll see where we can check the out of the box component using suite.app. So as I told you, Salesforce has provided many component, out of box component for us to use it. Uh, yeah. So we'll see how where we can check that. So I'll show you here. Yeah. So once you open your org, uh, right? So just replace after force.com. You see the slash, right? We should replace the content after slash with this component reference slash shoot.app. Yes. So now, as you can see, uh, so whatever custom or the standard components or the out of the box components Salesforce has provided, we have created, we can see all that those here in the suite.app. Okay. So since it is associated with your domain also, so you can see your custom components as well here. Yes. So whenever you get the requirement to create the component, you should always come to this suite.app and see whether Salesforce has provided any out of the box components to fulfill your requirement. Okay. If they are provided, please use that. Otherwise, go for the custom creation. This Salesforce also recommends. Salesforce always recommends this. Okay. So I request all of you to, you can also have a check on this. Uh, yeah, maybe after a session or maybe in session only. You can simply after the force.com slash you replace the content with component reference slash suite.app. Yes. So in the suite.app, you will also get all the example codes. So if you want to use the example codes, you can also use that. Yes. So yeah, so this is as per the first session. So let's move on to the lab exercises. Uh, yeah. So we'll create one lightning component today and see how it behaves. And while creating, I'll explain you about the lightning app builder. So in setup, we'll have developer console. Click that. Yes. Hmm. So this actually I have already created one. Let me create a new component for you. So in developer console, if you click on new, so you can click on lightning component. Here you can give the name to the lightning component. So hello world. I'll give the name as hello world AI check one. Okay. Yes. So this is the name which you can give to your component, and here you can give the description. Though description is not a mandatory field, but it is always recommended because it will help your colleagues to understand. And yeah, let's say if you leave your organization in between, then if someone come and replaces you, or if you go on leave, if someone comes and try to work on the same component, they will get to know the description about this component easily from here. Okay, so next step is to choose the options from here. Yeah, so these are actually the yeah, so these are actually the interfaces which we choose. So let's say uh, uh, you want to use it this yeah, so this actually talks about where we want to use this lightning components. So if we want to use it in lightning tab, then you have to choose the lightning tab here. If you want to use this application on the lightning page, you have to choose the lightning page. If you want to use it on the lightning record page, then you have to choose this here, lightning record page. If you want to use this on lightning community page, so community you all know, right? So yeah, if you want to use that, you have to check this check boxes. If you want to use it on the quick action, with the quick action, uh, you will have to choose this lightning component here. Okay, so I will show you example what will happen if you don't choose it. Okay, so let's say I have not chosen lightning quick action here. Okay, and let me create a component. So I have chosen 4 but not chosen lightning quick action. Let me submit. Yeah, so our like first lightning component got created, and see, with this component there are 8 files which got created, which is component, controller, helper style. We'll go in detail with each of the component maybe tomorrow in the second session. Uh, but I can give you an overview what all these 6 components do. Yeah. So yeah, so the first component is the component dot cmp. Yeah, so whatever name you will give dot cmp, this file will get created in the bundle. So here we can write the so you can say HTML codes, but usually we write the in Aura framework we write the Aura standard tags. Yeah, but it is like the HTML. Yeah, for creating the UI. Okay, so here we can write the Aura tags. Then it's a controller. Then the controller file got created. Controller file is nothing but your JavaScript file where you can write the client side logic, client side controller logic. Okay, so if you want to manipulate the DOM, the DOM document object model of the component, then we write all those logic in the client side controller. Okay, So we have one more client-side controller, that is helper, where so you see the so both controller and helper is JS file. They're all ending with .js, right? So the difference between helper and controller is in helper uh, we write reusable codes and we call that from the controller. Okay, so let's say if you want to call a class method or a server's Apex class method, so and that should be called multiple times. Okay, so in that case what we do is uh, we write that method once here in the helper, and in controller we call that multiple times from different methods. Okay, so one more difference between controller and helper is we can call one helper method from another helper method. So let's say if we have some 5-6 helper method here, okay, like this, in that case I can call one helper method from another helper method, but that is not the case with controller. We cannot call one controller method from another controller method. Okay, so we only have flexibility that we can call a helper from controller, but we can't call controller from controller. There's also an interview question. This they ask an interview. Okay, next is style. Style is basically created to give your component good look and feel. Yeah, so it's a CSS component. As you said, it is ending with .css. Yeah, so here we can give our component custom styles. We can, but we will go in detail with this maybe tomorrow. The next is documentation. So in documentation, yeah, with this in this component, you see the it ends with the aura doc dot aura doc, right? So in this we can uh, we can give the description of the components. So what exactly and how it is working, because so that if someone if someone comes on behalf of you in your organization, then they should not face difficulties in understanding this component. So there's for that. Next is renderer. Yeah, so here this is also, you see, it is running with .js. Its extension is .js. Yeah. So if you want to perform some operation before rendering or after rendering of the page, yeah, so this is the custom renderer actually. So if you want some operation to perform before rendering or after rendering of our component page, yeah, we can define that here. Yes, and next is design. So in design, you see the design is ending with .design, the extensions .design. So in design, I'll show you when we if you want to put some runtime input, if you want to give some runtime input to our components. So like if you in the Lightning app builder, when we use some component in the Lightning app builder, there we can uh, we can put the runtime inputs values. Okay, so we can also make our component enabled for that. uh, yeah, so we can achieve that with a design attribute, design bundle component. And with SPG we can create the custom icon for our component. Okay, so we see all these components uh, in detail in the next session. Yeah, not in the next, but yeah, in the one component we'll see in the coming sessions. Okay, so let's move on to the component first. So in component, you see I had selected 4 checkboxes there, right? So for whatever checkboxes I selected, um, these interfaces got implemented by default here with the component. So I selected app one. So app hostable for that. For app page, see the flexipage dot. So I'll show. I'll create one more component side by side, and we'll show you how. So you see, for Lightning tab, uh, this is the app hostable. This is the one which got created interface for Lightning page available for all page types. For Lightning record page, it is flexibly available for record home. So has record ID actually comes. I'll talk about this just after finishing with the yeah. And available for all page type. It is for the community. Okay. Yes. So when we implement interface force has record ID in our Lightning component, then an attribute with record ID automatically gets created. So whenever you will put this component on the record page, or yeah, on the record page or somewhere, you can get the ID of that current record using the record ID attribute. Okay. So there is also an interview question. They ask about it in the interview. So they'll ask you about the interfaces. Like if you want to use our component in Lightning tab, yeah. So which interface will have to implement? So they'll ask it. So then you can say force app hostable like that. Okay. So as you see, I have not implemented the quick action one. So as I did not check that right while creating the this component. So let's try to use okay. First I'll create a hello world. Let me write this hello world. So this is our first component. So let's try to use this component in the quick action. And we have not implemented the quick action here, right? We have not implemented that interface, but let's try to use it. We'll go to object manager. We'll go to account. We'll go to button action. So from here we can create new action. Yes. So we'll change the action type to Lightning component. Okay. Let's see. So our component was Hello World AI Tech 1 CMP, right? See that this component is not coming up in the drop down. So in the quick action, this is because we have not implemented that interface. If we implement the interface, that then only it will come up for your selection in the drop down. Let's add that interface in our component. So I'll previous component, and this is the interface for the force lightning quick action. I'll copy this and I'll add it here. And let's refresh this page. We'll choose lightning component here. Yes. So now you can see we are able to see the our component hello world edit one in the lightning component drop down list. Understood? So this is the concept of interface actually. So whatever interface we'll implement, based on that we can use our component for that. Okay. So next I'll explain you yeah, lightning app builder. But before that, I just want to show you this component with a quick action only. Okay. So let's create this. Okay. Give this as name as hello world. Let's save it. Fine. A custom. So we see we have created an action, and to use this action, we need to put this action on the layout. So let's open the page layout of account. Let me open an account first. I'll go to the sales application. Just a second. Just a second. Sorry, I had to mute the phone. Yeah. Yeah. So let me open the account. I have opened this account record. Yes. So action and button is something which you see here, right? Which we see here. So right now we see we have our action, quick action is not added over here. Since we have not added it, let's add that a quick action in which we have associated our custom component here. I will do the edit page. And this is the lightning record page, which I will explain you in tomorrow's session. Yeah. So this record page where I'll explain you in detail about this. But first, let's see about the quick action today. So here we can see which layout is referenced, which layout is previewed for that particular record page. Let me open this. And in this page layout, let me add. Yeah, so we'll add our action. So here you see there are two sections, right? One is quick action in Salesforce Classic Publisher, and another is Salesforce Mobile and Lightning Experience action. So we actually need to add that in Lightning Experience action to make that visible in the Lightning Experience. If you put that in Classic, that will not come up in the that will not shown up in the Lightning component, Lightning mode. Okay, so we should always keep in mind we have to put that in the Classic. Okay, so in the mobile and Lightning action, here we see the quick action which we have created. Hello world AI Tech 1. Let's add that to mobile and Lightning experience action. Let's move back to the account record page. Yes. So now you can see the button here, right? hello world AI Tech 1. And when we'll click that, yes, so you can see our lightning component opened here in the model box. So this is what we have created in the lightning component. So let's say if I change the text in the lightning component here, and save it and try to open our component model box again from the account. So yeah, we should always refresh the page when we make change in the component. We should always refresh the page so that it will take the changed code from the component. Yeah. So yeah, so you see the content has also changed. Okay. This is the first component which we have created. Yes. So in the lab exercise for today, what all we have done, we have reviewed the out of the box component. We have created a simple lightning component today. Lightning app builder. Yeah, today. As I opened the record page, uh, so when you do the edit page, it opens the record page in lightning app builder. So this actually I will explain you in detail tomorrow, because we don't have much time left for today. Yeah, because this will take some time to be neatly explained. Okay, so we'll go on the last one, using desktop browser to test component in the Salesforce mobile. Okay, so let's test our component in the Salesforce mobile from the browser only. Okay, so for this, what we'll do is, okay, so if you use Control Shift I, so either there are two options. So either click on the right, yeah, click right, do right click on your page and click on Inspect, or you can directly use the Control Shift I, three shortcut pages, shortcut keys of your keyboard to open this page. Okay, and refresh this page. Yes. So here you will get option to choose in which mode you want to open your uh, page or your Salesforce page. Yes. So here you have all the options from the mobile, iPhone X, iPad, iPad Pro, whatever you want to select. So let's add iPad Pro. So usually in the real-time scenarios, the sales reps will be using the iPad. So even in my current project, we are using iPad for the iPad and desktop application they are using. So yeah, I'll show this iPad. You see, the application is opening in the mm, iPad version, the Salesforce one mobile app. So here, yes, if I'm able to zoom it, just a second, I'll try to zoom it. Sorry, I can't zoom it. Okay, okay, yes, I can. Hmm. Okay, no problem. Yeah. So here in the down, so in the desktop version, we were seeing all the buttons and actions, and on the top of the page, right? On the top of the page, we are seeing. So in the Salesforce one, we usually see buttons and actions down to the page. Okay. So here we see our custom component. This is our custom component. If we click that, see, this has opened. This is opened. So our custom component got opened with this is my first session with AI Tech 1. So this is what we had developed in our lightning component. Okay. So this is how we can test our test the lightning component in the mobile from your desktop or laptop only. Okay. So that's all from my side today as per the training for the first day. If you have any question, you can ask me now. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you.